take you there.
Okay, so we're on another mystery tour. This one has a Halloween ghost theme. And again, this has been prepared by someone else, so we don't actually know where we're going. Hope we're heading in the right direction. Haunted history. Your first stop. It's back in Barrie. Back where we came from. Dundurn Castle.
I know that place.
You know that place?
I do.
Have you been to it?
No, I haven't, but I know exactly. I think it's kind of closer to the downtown.
Dundurn Castle in glorious Hamilton. When you think of a National Historic Site, do you think of the national haunts that could linger today? This castle right here in Hamilton is rumored to have some spooky history. Constructed in 1834 for well-known politician and merchant Sir Allan Napier MacNab, its heritage importance stems from the scenic features of Dundurn Castle's surroundings and connections. The main house, designed by Robert Weatherall of Hamilton, is an eclectic fusion of classical and Italian influences and is situated in a vast setting with panoramic views of the neighboring bay. Blah, 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 blah. It's a haunted theme, going to all kinds of haunted places, so I imagine that the chances of seeing a ghost are going to be very high. But I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Enchanted Hamilton, of course.
Good morning, everyone. We are here today at Dundurn Castle. We're doing a haunted tour, part of those mystery tours that we did one before. So this is our first stop. So let's take a look at the grounds and see if we can see any ghosts today.
Guarantee there's going to be a ghost, people.
These look like the David Austin roses I have in the garden. Not people, same variety.
We are here today with our friends Robert and Stacy, who are a little camera shy. Well, we're both from Ontario. We've never actually been here before. And I've never even heard of it before. That's in the video.
We're here to dispel that myth.
We are. There is. There's like great pockets in Hamilton, but there's also the continuing reputation of it being not so great. Shall we say?
In the day, Hamilton was a pretty smelly place.
It has its name of Hammertown for a reason.
Which I do, I remember that.
All the Canadian geese, or as the rest of the world calls geese.
I think so.
Hey, buddy. I don't see any ghosts in here. I'd say the only spooky things in here are the geese. Little Canadian geese that some people are afraid of. Hey, you're not afraid of me, are you? I'll be going south for the winter soon.
Okay, our second stop for today is at the Hamilton Cemetery. Like we mentioned over at the castle, the entire area has an incredible violent and bloody history. Hamilton Cemetery is not your average cemetery, although we do remind you to be respectful while visiting, as it's still a place of mourning. The cemetery is one of Canada's oldest burial grounds. It has more than 75,000 tombstones, and each tells their own story. But the history of Canada is revealed through more than just the stones here. Before Hamilton even existed, a British fort called Burlington Heights stood where the cemetery now stands. The soldiers in this fort drastically changed the course of War 1812 in Canada's favor. In 1813, American soldiers had already taken Fort George on the Niagara River, so when the British were made aware of an impending attack on Burlington Heights, they organized the middle of the night surprise attack on 3750 sleeping soldiers. The British left Burlington Heights at midnight on June the 5th and successfully forced the Americans to retreat back to Fort George. 2 weeks later, British and Canadian control returned to Fort George and ended the U.S. attempt to conquer the western part of what is now Ontario. In 1832, the cholera epidemic was out of control, taking the lives of many Hamilton residents. Also during this time, others were left to die in shacks constructed among the bayfront after spending months on ships leaving Europe and living in abominable conditions.
Abominable? Horrible conditions.
Horrible conditions, we'll go with that. Where am I? Okay, the dead were dragged into a hole that eventually became a mass burial, but it's said that some were buried alive. With that kind of history, does it come to a surprise to anyone? Many have reported seeing ghosts here. Hopefully we'll see a ghost.
Of course we will.
It's so spooky that the locals are said to avoid the northern end of the cemetery where the mass burial ground was located. We will now get our GPSs out and search for the northern part of
have to go north.
So, come with us. We will go to the northern end of the cemetery where we see ghouls and goblins and ghosts of all kinds.
Her attitude's going to change when she actually sees one. Headstones from the 1800s. On a lot of these headstones, people did not live very long. Some of them are showing children that only lived for a year or two, I guess from the cholera outbreak.
Okay, so this is the Century Manor. so the original plan was to use the Century Manor as an alcohol abuse facility. However, there was a greater demand for beds for the mentally ill, so this became its only priority. There were a number of reasons for someone to be admitted and live on the asylum grounds, including being criminally insane. Some patients were subjected to gruesome procedures like lobotomies, electroshock therapy, and restraints such as Utica cribs. These were infant-like cribs that had a top piece that would close and lock, forcing patients to lay down for hours. These atrocities?
Atrocities?
Oh, is it atrocities?
And next we're going to a high school.
I don't think I've ever had to say that word in my life. Anywho, these atrocities weren't the only ones that happened. Staff members and patients also engaged in violence and abuse. As one of Hamilton's oldest structures, accompanied with the aggressive past its harbors, many tend to feel uneasy when roaming the grounds. Some feel like they are being watched, and others have heard mysterious things. One security guard once heard voices coming from behind a door when patrolling the basement. When he opened the door, he saw two women dressed in old nurses' outfits. He was so frightened that he backed out of the room and slammed the door. When he felt brave enough to open it again, the woman had vanished. Century Manor has become a hotspot for paranormal investigators and enthusiasts alike. Are the spirits of the tortured soul stuck in the manor? Hard to tell. All the windows are boarded up.
Yeah, kind of a waste of a big building, actually.
Yeah.
It's right next to the new hospital. I'm sure they could use it for something if they wanted to. I don't see any ghosts, though. If you're ready.
We're ready? Okay. So here we're going to be dining with ghosts. Okay, so we're here at the Coach and Lantern restaurant in Ancaster. Apparently it is a haunted facility. And it says here that it is the third oldest structure and date back to the 1700s.
Apparently we're doing a little hike to try to find some ruins. Not sure what's spooky about this, though. Still haven't seen any ghosts, that's for sure. Wrong way?
Yeah, this is the height. Gorgeous.
I don't think it is though.
I have no idea.
Did we grab a map?
We won't be making it to the ruins, it's too far. We have dinner reservations. It's a huge, nice park for hiking in, though. Oh.